sbloccare quei due tipi che ci mancano.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Ho cambiato un bel po' di cose.
Okay, all our preparations are just about set.
All this royalty? It always felt they lived in a different...
'Tis proof that blood...
Looks like this is gonna be our last mission. Any final words you want to say?
We can't give up. Of course. No way we'll...
About the new stuff you've felt and learned since becoming the prince. Why is it that you want to be king? It's not about honor or power, is it?
I want to protect this country.
'Tis the answer I hoped for. As your knight.
Well, I guess this...
Ok.
This place here.
Dividiti a qua.
Let's move!
You see?
Possiamo sistemare un po' di cose.
Yeah. After having made their arch enemy, they head to...
Ah, invece non sembra.
That Elden boy is nowhere to be found. I suppose it's only a matter of...
Speaking of which, the voice of the pro-Luis faction became too overwhelming. He was ultimately... Why is this happening? Even if the Sanctus...
The public mind...
It's always
Can you imagine Luis on the throne? Can you imagine what he'd do with us?
Is this really the time for idle chit-chat?
Who are you?
Just a passing wastrel? Thought I'd drop in for a word since I was in the area. You might have... Well then.
Bene, partiamo.
Lord Luis, your pardon. We've encountered an unexpected... I killed the prince in the Elden village. I confirmed his death, yet it appeared...
Resurrected?
Yes, and what... The boy candidate was the actual prince after all. Something about his soul having traveled independently, and then returning to his corporeal body.
I see. So his ideal form was spun from Magla. Whatever the case, this means the land's true prince has reawakened in the sanctum. How interesting.
Lord Luis, what is it about that Yeah, I won't let it end like this. I have to do better. I need...
We'll soon be arriving above the royal capital.
Excellent. As planned, increase altitude.
Are you certain? We'll be heading directly to His Majesty, the former king.
Rest assured. That old fool is powerless to stop me now.
Understood.
Let the final banquet begin.
Come on, any takers? Any bets for the other?
What are you trying to say?
Oh no.
I'll call that bet. All in on His Highness the Prince.
A Sanctus bigwig gambling away his tides? This really is the end of the world.
Didn't know. I mean, he's not really the prince, is he? Was actually a monster in disguise all along. Haven't you heard the news?
Must be tough, being an easy mark. It didn't take much for you to buy. The fireworks went off the moment he said, "Behold." Remember? You don't think there's any chance Luis orchestrated you?
Oi, churchman! You've seen Count Luis lie to us? You think he cast some...
An illusion, eh? What if I... Always struck me as odd. We all know Luis, the mighty human slayer, but how does he keep finding... Seems a bit convenient, if you ask me. Like he knows in advance where these monsters...
Easy to nitpick and gripe about him, isn't it, churchman?
All right. Let's keep things civil, eh? No sense becoming a
Oi! What's all this fuss about? Damn it! When Count Luis is king, you'll all be the first at the...
Well, they're probably just as anxious as the rest of us. All that yelling and thrashing helps.
It's more than that. Pockets of society have resented the upper class for ages now, but this might be the spark. Luis's respect for power is certainly cruel, but it's fair to an extent. Those of us pushing the status quo.
Even then, everyone's on edge. They'll jump at any excuse to argue and...
Blind fanaticism and doom go hand in hand. If we don't find some common ground soon... Luis left saying that he'd be waiting at the royal capital. Only one place he could be. All up... What are we about to see? Ah, the royal palace. Do you hear me, O king? This country is... You and the other titled authorities decide who grows fat. The country knows no war only because our very core is built upon a system of societal predator and prey. It cannot be defied. Hand over the royal scepter. The game is over. The country needs change, and I will provide it.
Thou impertinent faith breaker, hast thou no shame in preempting the day of judgment?
Do you presume yourself a god? Is that why you wrought your face in stone and took it to the heavens? You're nothing.
How wouldst thou wield the king's magic?
To purify all that your kind have left to rot. You threw away your ideals, but I will never make that.
Only the people's chosen may take the throne. The royal scepter and its resting place remain beyond you.
This royal scepter, the royal magic. Did you think that only generations of kings were... Why someone can manipulate world-changing power by use of only a single scepter? Why, listen well, O king. The truth behind the royal magic. Huh. So it's true. The country truly is putrid with sin. In other words, if I took hold of it now, then I would
How didst thou learn of this?
How?
Thou wert elder.
You were not always blind to this country's rot. When you visited our sanctum, I saw and knew the passion in your heart. And yet, what happened to our village? What happened to this country? You cannot stop me any longer. Nor can anyone else.
Snatching victory from the mob, but they agree their return.
What the hell's wrong with the sky? Isn't that... Oi! Ah, that's why the sky's grown so hellish. Aha.
A more aggressive welcome than I expected.
It's useless. Words are cheap.
Still, we should walk with pride instead of...
True enough.
His Royal Highness, the Prince, returned. Luis distorted his form through strange and terrible magics, but the curse is now dispelled.
Boy, if that's really His Highness, then tell us why in His Majesty in the sky stop...
Because he's an imposter, just like Count Luis said.
Oi, calm down.
And you! Never thought I'd see one of the Magnus brothers standing against Count Luis. Only thing traitors...
Lady Juno, I can't believe this. I admired you. Why would you risk dying alongside some fake prince?
I don't intend on dying with anyone. Besides, I'm still me. Whoever I'm...
Hey, you chief! Weren't you the wretch who got kicked out of the knighthood? Now you're with this pack of throne chasers. Mustari girl! You ungrateful pagan! Count Luis brought down the Sanctus Church for you!
How dare you? What is all this? The truth of the prince hardly matters to them.
We'll have your heads on pike soon enough. Leave! Get out of our royal capital!
If they're just monsters, we can deal with them ourselves.
This is bad. They really are out for our blood.
Oi, over here! Don't bother with them. No talking this one out, you...
We weren't away from the city that long. What happened?
The prince turning into a monster before their eyes still lingers in their minds. After all, a monster...
No, that's not...
I know, it's not true. But truth and how it appears to this... Moreover, humans have been sighted closer than ever before. The royal capital's populace is unused to danger, so they've become suspicious of each other. How fares your neighbor? Do you run in circles with monsters in disguise? A question. Ever since Forden's death, Luis has everyone on a knife edge. He's erratic, and nobody knows how he'll react to those who...
So, at the core of it, people are scared witless, and they cling to Luis as a savior, rather than the...
You well know that Luis cares not one whit about social status, especially as a token of birthright. So even those who may have opposed him at first now counsel that condemning him would be...
Then we're stuffed. He won't save anyone, and oh yeah, he can create humans, by the way.
Oh, that's all true then. This all said, in my humble opinion, what we're seeing in the people now... Now, has the tournament for the throne truly ever been a fair contest? The Sanctus Church bent before I met you people. I didn't have much to me but anger and quips. I'd rant and snipe and have my... Now maybe that outlook's our real enemy. Blind fanaticism.
We've been told Magla is born from people's anxiety.
Kind of ironic. But we have to do something about it. If we don't...
I had the inn prepared. They won't let anyone in but you lot. Let's head there for now.
What now?
Sblocchiamo queste cos'è che dicono? Recupero PM dopo aver scoperto un nemico, dice 20 PM massimo del 30%. Ti dà recupero ma... Ok.
I see. Fascinating. This right here.